I'm Mike. This is my partner Devin.
What's up?
We're the Crab Guys.
Yeah, we are.
Today, we're going to be studying the European green crab, invasive species around the world. It originated on the Atlantic coast of Europe, and it came to Cape Cod in the 1800s. Now, it spread from South Carolina north of the east coast of America, and it's on the west coast of America, and parts of South Africa and Australia. And we're going to look into how it affects the environment as an invasive species. Let's go! So, here we are at the beach. This is one place we can find the European green crab in its natural environment. We are looking for them now, and we hope to show you one. This environment is made up of a few abiotic factors and biotic factors. We got some nice rocks here.
Plenty of them.
Plenty. And then on these rocks you can find barnacles. That's a biotic factor right there. The ones that scrape your feet.
Now, some other abiotic factors can be boats and
So some other abiotic factors in this ecosystem can include the wind and how it affects the tides on these rocky shores. Also, humans walking across the rocky areas here that we're on, and even boats that come through the channels behind us. There's one.
Come on! Oh baby. There it is, come around this side. Oh yeah.
Let's get a good look at that.
There it is.
That's a beauty.
Hiding under a rock.
Oh my god.
That's its natural place.
Gorgeous.
Does that for camouflage against attackers.
Ugly. So the European green crab, its habitat mainly consists of rocky tidal areas, much like this area here, or this beach that we're at right now. But it also extends far out, a couple miles into the ocean, into flat, sandy, areas in the deeper ocean, like this area out here. So the European green crab's diet mostly consists of clams, oysters, or mussels. The green crabs can eat up to 40 small clams a day, which is an incredible amount of clams for a crab. Also, what makes these crabs so invasive is how they eat tons of small crab larvae of other species. When they eat the larvae, it really reduces the ability to survive for other crabs, and they become the main crab in the ecosystem.
Crabs are the prey of birds, such as gulls like those. They hide in the rocks, so they're protected and camouflaged from these birds.
So the European green crabs have a long trail of affecting the ecosystem. It starts with the crabs eating a lot of clams. When they do this, since the clams are filter feeders, and they eat a lot of phytoplankton, which are a primary producer for the ecosystem here in the ocean, eating the clams would actually make an abundance of phytoplankton. So with the abundance of phytoplankton, they take in a lot more carbon from the atmosphere, and it really alters the carbon cycle, with the carbon being absorbed through photosynthesis, and it kind of changes the whole dynamic.
Let me break this food chain down for you. It starts with the sun, which gives light for the producers, or the phytoplankton in this case. Then you got the clams as the primary consumers, which eat the phytoplankton. Then you got crabs as the secondary consumers, which eat the clams, which eat the phytoplankton. And they're your secondary consumers. And then you got your tertiary consumers, which are the birds or gulls. I just saw one. The birds or gulls that eat the crabs. And then the decomposers there are many of them, but an example of them is a sea slug. And that's the food chain of this environment or ecosystem.
As for the carrying capacities here in this ecosystem, the other crabs that green crabs eat are mostly affected. Since the green crabs prey on the larvae of these other crabs, their carrying capacities have been decreased because of the incredible numbers of green crab population. Because of their invasiveness, the other crabs, like the Dungeness crabs, have been unable to reach the normal carrying capacities that they've always had. And with the resources that the green crabs are taking away from them, such as clams and mussels, they haven't been able to bring their population to that level anymore.
So, the European green crab invasion in these areas have been a huge problem. So we're going to solve it, and here are our solutions that we want to present to you. The first one is we're gonna put a bounty on the European green crabs, which is basically putting money out for people who catch them. In the past, Massachusetts towns have done this, and there have been 10 tons of crabs caught in one town. And we're gonna introduce this bounty at the start of the fishing season, which is right about now. And at the end of the fishing season, at the start of the winter, we're gonna check back and see how the population, if it has either declined or increased or stayed the same. And if results have not varied, we would like to introduce the blue crabs into the population. And this may cause a reduction in the European green crab population because of the competition between the two species. These blue crabs will work so well because of the negative correlation we've seen in the past between the European green crabs and the blue crabs. So introducing them into the environment may reduce the green crabs enough to save the ecosystem.